back everyone, welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Crank Gathers. Crank Gathers Season 4, Group A, week number 2. We are here, we are halfway through the group stage of this unique StarCraft Evolution Team League tournament. I'm of course just VIP, with me and joined by the amazing players and by the people in chats as well. Welcome one all. We are getting into our broadcast. Oh, un momento, as I do quickly, there we go, as we do quickly set things up. We're getting into our broadcast here tonight. For those that are maybe tuning in for the first time, for those that are unaware, this is a tournament for StarCraft Evolution, not StarCraft 2, and it is a Team League tournament. We do have a group stage leading into the playoffs, and this is the final week of the group stage to determine the top teams to enter the playoffs. Let's go. We already went over the qualifiers, and of course week 1 last week, and now we are here to conclude said group stage. Let's jump into our matches here tonight. So for tonight's broadcast, we're jumping into Group A. Here in Group A, we have 3 series to go here, 3 best of 5s, and it is round robin group stage. Up first, we're going to be jumping into ONSYDE versus StalnieBalls. Let's go. Let us go, as we are going to be switching things over and catching up on our upcoming matches. Let's go. Let us go, as you can... Oh, as we're about to jump into it. Here we go. Bam, there we go. So we do have our upcoming matches. Now, as a reminder, this is going to be a best of 5 ace match if we get there. First up is going to be a TVZ Ryung. Ryung is going to be a starting player for ONSYDE, going up against GgMaChine in a TVZ, followed by Zoun versus YoungYakov, Maru versus Shameless, and Ryung versus MilkiCow. The format here is best of 1s, and the teams do field and reveal their lineups ahead of time, so players and teams have time to prepare for their upcoming matches, Pro League style. So Pro League style formats where they do have time to prepare, time to look up and study their opponents, of course, and get ready for the up and coming best of 1s. Bear that in mind. Best of 1, papi. Aye. Let's go. Let's jump on in here. Again, game 1 is going to be our TVC, Ryung versus GgMaChine. Let's go. Let us go. Likewise, when it comes to who plays SC2 and who plays Brood War, they do alternate. We do alternate between matches and between series. Up first, I believe, is going to be Ryung playing Brood War Terran. Fabulous. And what's also really cool about this format, bearing in mind as well, is that... Oh, one moment though. What's cool about this format is that, again, when it comes to our teams facing off, even though ONSYDE is the more well-known team, I would say they're one of the underdogs in the team league. Again, Ryung, Maru, and Zoun, they have very limited experience, very limited experience in StarCraft Evolution. I would say the player with the most amount of experience in said team would be Shin, but Shin is not competing for ONSYDE. Shin is going to be competing for CRHB instead, so he won't be there for ONSYDE to be that ace player, to be that kind of pillar for them. Instead, they're going to have to rely on themselves. I think I might even say that Ryung probably has the most experience with Brood War, so I do think that he might be like their StarCraft Evolution, like Brood War ace. Hard to say though, hard to say, just because these teams, these players have so much limited experience. It's same with Basilisk, right? With Basilisk, they're the best team in StarCraft 2, but they're not really the strongest team coming into this league because of their inexperience in StarCraft Evolution. True. But here we go, as we are going to be jumping into our first game. Now, bearing in mind, of course, is a replay cast. There's going to be a replay cast covering this event, and because this is a replay cast from yesterday's matches from less than 24 hours ago, it does mean that that there might be a little bit of downtime in between matches, just because we have to download the patch. Bearing in mind, a patch did hit this morning, a hotfix, so that did pseudo break replays. It does mean that we have to wait a little bit longer to download the previous patch. Just as a heads up. Un momento. Machine. Beautiful. Just setting up the title, setting up the matches. Okay. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sylphid, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself representing StalnieBalls. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss, the red Terran. The red Terran player himself, the South Korean Terran, the Brood War Terran. It is Ryung. Let's go. Let's go. Let us jump on in. Bearing in mind, once again, this is StarCraft Evolution, so Ryung is playing Brood War. Meanwhile, GgMaChine is playing StarCraft 2. This mod is balanced for Brood War versus SE2. This is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War, just as a heads up. So it's always one versus the other. And again, we're going to be alternating. So ONSYDE, they begin as Brood War. ONSYDE game 2 will be SC2, and StalnieBalls will be playing Brood War instead. Just as a heads up. And of course, teams, they knew about the order of that's coming into when they fielded their players and how they would reveal their lineups as well. Jumping into this, so we are going to be getting into our fresh series, and again, this is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom left, top side, or bottom right, so possible 3-player spawn map. As a result, we do see Ryung going CC first. It is very, very common to go CC first in these 3-player spawn maps. Likewise, Hatch Gas Pool out of GgMaChine. So far, standard openers, but honestly, it's quite common, yep, to 3x. So 3x follow-ups, 3x builds are very standard in StarCraft Evolution from Brood War Terran, so we're expecting a 3rd ranks, an academy, and a stim timing coming up from Ryung. Let's go. Let us go. As is our 3rd ranks, and again behind this we should be going for the academy, bearing in mind that again this does hit into a very strong stim and medic timing. The reason why 3 ranks hit as hard as they do in StarCraft Evolution is because you don't need a starport for support. You can straight up make the medic from the racks itself, so it does hit harder, does hit stronger, and we'll see how GgMaChine, how experienced he is. Now I will say that GgMaChine is more experienced in StarCraft Evolution than Ryung is, so GgMaChine, he's going to be scouting and he will confirm the build of choice, and he's going to be aware of it, and he will be able to shut it down, or at least react and respond. Now there are a couple different ways to react to this. You can go for a Baneling defense, you can go for a Roach-Warren defense, or you can go Massling Queen, which I feel like is a little bit more difficult. But there are different ways to react to this. As long as you don't overdrone, you should be okay. And remember, this is not an all-in. I should also emphasize that. This is not an all-in. It's going to be a strong timing. The follow-up is going to be, I mean, typically we see mech as a follow-up, to be honest. Like into Double Factory, into Spider Mines, and Mass Vulture. But we'll see how Ryung does decide to follow up here after said timing. Here we go. Here we go. So from here we are going to be settling in and getting into our fresh series. Behind this, we even have some Firebats coming into the mix as well. True Firebats, they have their place here in the SC Evo. They have their place. And I see in the chat, we're not here to discuss the patch or the implied meta for SC2. Talk about that somewhere else. Here to talk about StarCraft Evolution, papi. Let's go. As for now, we are getting into our link speed. Gas is still being mined, and Ryung will soon move out. He'll soon, set up as we are hunting down the first Overlord. With the scan, we'll be able to shut it down. More Firebats amassing, more biomassing as well. Soon, Ryung, he will move out. And again, GgMaChine, as I mentioned before, he's getting ready. Spike Wall's on the way. Queens are coming out. Link production has begun as well, and GgMaChine is getting ready to defend. Is getting ready. We go. Oh, sure, he doesn't. I just realized that Ryung didn't know where he spawned. So true. Ryung has yet to scout, so now he's going to be checking. Unfortunately, he does gamble a little bit here and does gamble incorrectly. GgMaChine, he is nowhere to be found. It does rotate over towards the left-hand side. Yeah, rotates over. And again, this is just giving more time for GgMaChine to prepare. Giving him more time, massing out more queens. Baneliness is on the way, so it's going to be a Ling Queen defense initially into Banelings. Spinecrawler staying up at the 3rd, and Ryung at this point is misses timing. Here comes the follow-up. So Factory is going to be on the way. From here, we can start working towards mech, or at least supporting with mech, into tanks or into vultures. Eyes are on whether or not we go for a 2nd factory. And Ryung races back home. He misses timing. Again, did not know where GgMaChine did spawn. Didn't know where he spawned in. GgMaChine going for the counter Bane Bus, actually. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, he's going for the counter. Lings, they do try to collapse in. Pulling back. It's going to be pulled back. Scan confirming lack of gases, trying to get eyes on further attack. And GgMaChine, he likewise does not commit into the natural behind this droning. We're droning, we're saturating. We have 6 more drones on the way here for GgMaChine. be droning up, just containing Ryung and working on the next step. Behind this, we are going to siege mode, so tank production has begun, going for a 3-1-1 setup, no second factory, so we're committing into bio. The bio army is solid. It doesn't scale too well coming into the late game, but has its place here in the mid game as well. But we'll see how greedy GgMaChine is going to be. Remember, Ryung, he's contained right now. He's contained on 2 bases. GgMaChine are freely going to be joining. Saturated. Does expand here on the top side. Does expand, does set up likewise. The lever chamber double upgrade. Scan does reveal lack of lair. Lair was over here at the natural there, which I didn't believe has been spotted. Yeah, has not been spotted. So a bit of an unfortunate scan there from Ryung. And we'll slowly be breaking out. We have the science facility on the way. That should be for science vessels, for irradiate. But I'll be honest, this is going to be a very slow start for Ryung. It's going to be a very slow start, just because it looks like he does plan on taking up into science vessels, into irradiate first. Starting to be a little bit active, catching out some of the Ling Bane, not bad. Does catch out some of the army. There's that science vessel on the way. Ryung, he's going to stem further onto creep here, and GgMaChine, he should have enough to defend. We've got the queens, we've got the spine cooler, more Banelings going to be morphing in as well. And he's setting up. Maru's going to be setting up. Likewise, Ryung, he commits with the tanks. Okay. Yeah, he's going to try to commit. Pushing up the ramp. Baneling speed only now just beginning. Remember, it was a later lair. True. Yeah, later lair, later Baneling speed. GgMaChine, that means Ryung, he can break the base. Not just that, but he does find the Eva chambers here as well. Very nice pickoffs. Yeah, he denies 1-1 and shuts down the third base. We have Banelings trying to trickle on in. But again, the tech was so delayed here for GgMaChine. Did decide to go double upgrade before lair, before Baneling speed. So both will be denied. Massive pickoffs. GgMaChine now going for the counterattack back at home. There aren't many units back at home to defend. Yeah, Lings will catch reinforcements, but this main army is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of control. Ryung pushing further in. Baneling setting up with this round. Again, still no Baneling speed. We're 10 seconds off. He's going in. Yeah, it does dive in. It does go for the defense matrix. And Banelings, they don't connect with the bio. We have 3 more Banelings coming in. We're down to 0. Very nice target firing. Oh my god. That's there, Ryung. Yeah, nice target firing. Breaks all the Banelings. Stims on forward, but we're running out of support here again. There are no more tanks, just pure marine. Pure marine, pappy. Okay, it's a very messy defense here from GgMaChine. Very messy. And if given time, we have 10 Hydras on the way, a couple of extra Zerglings as well. Ryung, he's almost in. Now Radiate has finished researching. He needs a little bit more time for energy here. There we go, he has 1. He has 1 Irradiate. There it is. Connects with the Hydra, very nice. The Hydra does go down. At the same time, we're trying to collapse on the Marines again. There's no tank behind this. Marines, they stim. And they win, Pappy. Yeah, they take down the Queens, they take down the Hydras. And with that Ryung, it looks like he is breaking through. I say that he's down to 4 Marines out of 2. 2 Marines left. 1. Ah, God. Down to 0. Down to barely 0 with that Ryung. He barely didn't have enough. We had 2 Hydras and the Queen surviving, Pappy. Ay, ay, ay. A very close, a very clutch defense. Behind this, Ryung is getting his 3rd base up and running. Meanwhile, GgMaChine also on 3 bases. Remember, he lost the 4th. He lost the 4th base. More importantly, he lost both Eva chambers. So on the one hand, GgMaChine, he survives. That is true. But he's behind in the economy. He's down in workers. He has 0 upgrades. He only has Baneling speed and Ling speed and Hydra upgrades, of course, but has no Eva chamber upgrades. So GgMaChine falling behind. He's falling behind here. He does survive, but he's in a rough place. 2-2 has now begun for Ryung. Getting into 2-2 upgrades and securing himself. GgMaChine, he has a ways to go. He's got a ways to go to catch back up in this game. And we'll see if he can. Breaking in. Once again, nice Irradiate here on the Hydra. GgMaChine does kill his own Hydra. Does shut it down. For those who are curious, Radiate is similar to Parasitic Bomb, except Parasitic Bomb stays it stays present after the unit is killed. For Radiate, it dissipates once the unit is killed. So it is very common to micro against a Radiate by killing your own units, whether it's killing your own, Marine, Ultra, Hydra, for example, Viper. Just to end said splash damage, Jesus. Speaking of, there we go. Bit of a delayed reaction there from GgMaChine. And behind this, Ryung scanning, getting an eye on the economy. Should be feeling good about this, confirming that there are no additional northern bases here from GgMaChine. And now it's time to move out. And Ryung has got his 3 science vessels. He has Radiates ready. He's got at least 3 of them. Defense Matrix if he needs them as well. True. And Defense Matrix. Catching all these Zerglings. Oh my god. Yeah, a bunch of Zerglings go down. Heavy losses for GgMaChine. Every Zergling will fall. Now moving in, and you can see we're chasing down the Hydras. The Radiates is chasing down the Hydras. Gets 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 connections. Ooh, softening up the army ahead of time. Ryung is pushing forward. He's holding on to 1 more Radiate, soon to be. Need a little bit more time, a little bit more energy. Science Vessel does overextend. Yeah, we'll go down, but despite that, massive tank shots going off from the high ground. And massive tank volleys. Catching out the Queen. The Queen's the Ling Bane, Defense Matrix activated. Ooh, some Banelings do connect, but that's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Ryung, he snowballs out of control, breaks through the main army, pushing towards the natural base as well. And again, just too many losses early on there for GgMaChine. To lose the base, to lose the upgrades, to lose everything was just far too much. GG gets called, and Ryung will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Ryung, he will take a lead in the series. Again, we did have an intense back and forth. GgMaChine, he did decide to throw down his Evo chambers at his 3rd location, but more importantly, he did decide to delay Baneling speed. So when Ryung eventually moved out, even though it was delayed compared to the original timing, GgMaChine, he wasn't ready. He was not ready for it in the end. He was caught with his pants down, and with that, Ryung takes a lead for ONSYDE. GG, well played. And honestly, this is a pretty big win. It's a big win here for ONSYDE. As I mentioned before, I would say that Ryung is probably going to be the ace player for ONSYDE. I mean, there's a reason why they're going to be fielding him twice in the original lineup. So Ryung, he does kick things off with a win. We'll see if the rest of his team can keep up. Let's go. Let us go. As up next, we're going to be loading into our ZVP. Up next is going to be a best of 3 between who? Up next is Zoun for ONSYDE and YoungYakov for StalnieBalls. Let's go. Let us go, as game 2 is going to be on BlackRock. Here we go. So we are going to be settling up. Does Radiate still work as an eraser? It does. It does, of course. You can cast a Radiate on a dropship or any units. For sure. So you can use it like an eraser. It is a little bit different though here. I mean, specifically in that kind of dynamic, just because there were Hydras out, so they can just focus on the science vessels. But you can do that to, like, I mean, that's, if I recall correctly, that was more effective against like mineral lines. You could like irradiate your science vessels, then go into mineral lines to kill drones. I want to say that was like a common tactic. But here we go. Spawning in the top right corner of BlackRock, we do have the blue Zerg player. We have the Brood War Zerg down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back for his team. Let's go. It is YoungYakov for StalnieBalls. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing ONSYDE. It is Zoun. And Ryung, he has taken a lead for himself, for his team. We'll see if Zoun can keep that up. I will say that YoungYakov, again, is much more experienced in StarCraft Evolution. Much more experienced. So we'll see if Zoun can keep up. For now, though, hatch pool opener into a delayed gas geyser. Okay, so a bit of a later gas out of YoungYakov. With this, we'll have later link speed, later tech. So we'll see how YoungYakov does get into towards the mid game. Likewise, Zoun across the map is going to be going for his own standard open, just going for his own gate expand. And gate expand setup. And welcome to Blackrock. Blackrock is an interesting map in the map pool. I want to say it's a little bit more medium-sized when it comes to the rush distance by ground. But I will say that the third and fourth bases are very open. They're very open, they're very exposed. It does take quite a lot of dedication when it comes to stack defense to actually build up and fortify these locations, specifically for Protoss players. So it's going to be difficult, often it is difficult for Protoss to defend on 3 and 4 bases. We'll see though. Again, there's also some other features of this map that will be more impactful on this mod, and that is of course the side blockers. There's a lot of tall grass, a lot of shrubbery here, and what does that mean? That means there's a bunch of mischance. In StarCraft Evolution, just like in Brood War, there is I want to say it's 47% chance to miss. It's slightly below 50. It's like 47-ish, 47.5 or something. But there's basically like 50% chance to miss when you do attack into tall grass, or if you do attack up high ground as well. There is that kind of disadvantage you have. It's a pretty big disadvantage, and because there's so much tall grass here, because there's so much potential like side blockers or ways to obscure vision, that can come into play when it comes to engaging in the center of the map. Can come into play for now though. Robo opener. So Zoun opening up Robo, typically, we'll see. I was going to say this typically means Robo into a faster Bay, into faster Colossus production, but technically this can lead into like a fast Prism, into Prism fast early on, then into Immortals, then into like an Immortal based all-in. So eyes are on Zoun, leaning towards a fast Bay and fast Colossus, but we'll see. We shall see. Now Depth does shade into the mineral line. Ooh, gets shut down by the Hydras. Again, fast Hydrogen here by YoungYakov. As you can see, Yakov, he's skip lane speed. It makes sense why he went for late gas. Late gas means your skip lane speed. We're rushing directly into Hydras. Not just that, rushing to a very fast lair. Now, if I see a fast lair and if I see a Hydrogen, I'm thinking lurkers. Remember, Hydra tech is hatch based, but the lurker den is not. You do need the lair for lurkers, so I'm imagining that YoungYakov wants to try to rush lurkers and try to go for a lurker timing. There is a lurker all-in you can go for, where you hit with like 5 lurkers and you just link flood behind it. So we'll see if Yakov all-ins or if he does try to build up from here. Meanwhile, fast Robo into Bay, it is going to be Colossus. So as we had originally assumed, it is going to be fast Colossi here out of Zoun. Which is honestly going to do quite well against a Hydra heavy composition, but again, it might be a little bit more shaky against heavier lurker play. Lair is done. There it is, lurker tech is being researched. So, as I mentioned, fast lair, fast Hydrogen, screams, fast lurkers. Lurkers are going to be on the way. Unlike in SE2, the Hydrogen doesn't morph into a lurker den. It's just a research that is upgraded, of course. This does make it a little bit harder to scout, but again, like if you see the main base, if you see the lair and the Hydrogen, if you see researching, you can deduce lurkers. You can make that deduction. Meanwhile, let's go. Prism speed is on the way. We're going old school. We're going not for Colossus drops. We're going for Disruptor drops. It's been a couple of years since this was in the meta. I want to say like 2022, 2023-ish era of StarCraft. I remember especially amongst the NA Protoss players referring to like Astrea, referring to Neeb as well, and was mixed in every now and then from a Korean Protoss, would be like Colossus drops and Disruptor drops. It is very dedicated, and we'll see if it pays off. As of course, there's counter micro available to dodge those Novas. We'll see. Does this disadvantage also affect melee units? No. I believe only range, but maybe. Like as you meant, like I'll be honest, I haven't really encountered too many positions where you have the. I mean, it's the opposite, right? Like if you're saying there's a melee units on either side of the tall grass, basically. Well, the one who's on the opposite side can't see, so won't be able to attack. I guess if they have high ground vision, you're asking. I'm not entirely certain. I think they would have a mischance. That makes sense. Yeah, I think they would, because it still meets the requirement of one unit having to attack into tall grass. So I think it would have a mischance. Oh, very nice Nova. Okay. Very nice Nova. Catching out how many? Catching out 4 Hydras. But I'm just speculating. I haven't encountered that situation too often. There we go. Here we go. With that, we do have Scourge as a response. That's going to be ideal against Colossus, and Colossus are amassing. Ooh, so this is one of the reasons why Colossus tech is actually, I mean, so first things first, this tells me that Zoun is very inexperienced in StarCraft Evolution. We knew that already, but this confirms that. Colossus-based play is very rare in SE Evo because of Scourge. Like Scourge, they're just a hard counter. They just hard counter Colossus as they chase away the Prism. But it's the reason why you often see Storm and Disruptors, not Colossi. Because it only takes a couple of Surge to move in and to shut Colossus down. So we'll see if Zoun can make this work. We'll see. Obviously, there's a world where he can maybe position his Stalkers in such a way where they can focus on the Scourge in time. But the problem is that Stalkers have a very low attack rate, right? Stalkers, they attack very, very slowly as opposed to Marines. So the idea of Stalkers killing all of these Scourge before they connect, it's very low. It's very, very unlikely to occur. Archons, of course, would have an easier time. Archons, they have more splash damage, but they have shorter range. But again, there's like no Archon support yet. Like Archons and Storm are what we would expect to try to counter like a heavy Scourge army against Skytos. So now again, both players are amassing their armies. Scourge still being active. I don't believe YoungYakov has seen the Colossus yet. If he were aware of the Colossi, we should be seeing more Scourge. Right now, there aren't enough to actually kill everything in the sky, I don't think. But now just focusing on Lurker tech. Building up more Lurkers. Queen's Nest is on the way. Queen's Nest and Ensnare would be ideal. So Ensnare is kind of like Fungal Growth. You could argue it's a little bit stronger just because it does last a very long time. The difference is that Ensnare does no damage. Does no damage. Just purely a slow spell. But I believe Ensnare has to be researched. I say believe because yeah, there it is. Okay, I wasn't certain, but that is Ensnare being researched. I wasn't certain because we've had a lot of patches in StarCraft Evolution, and they've like added it, they've removed it, they've made it just baseline on the Queen, then moved it around a little bit. Like there's been a lot of adjustments made, but it looks like right now, at least currently, it is in this iteration, it is an upgrade that you have to work through. Before this, it was baseline on the Queen. Meanwhile, Zealots do control the base, forcing a cancel. Zoun moving out. Yakov does spot the army. Still only 8 Scourge. I still don't know if that's enough. Zoun moving in. Army gets spotted. Stargate's on the way. Zoun getting ready for Skytos. There it is. 6 more Scourge on the way. That should be enough. As the War Prism makes its way towards the main, there is an opening. Oh, the Scourge! Ooh, they do. Yeah, you can see they quickly kill one Colossus. One Colossus goes down. There's a recall back home. At the same time, Hydras they counterattack. They almost catch a Colossus. Not quite. Prism into the main. But now YoungYakov can focus on the defense. He's moving out. Ooh, we're getting messy. We're getting messy here. Zealots get into the main base. Ryung's going to be going down. At the same time, YoungYakov, oh, he runs into the army. Yeah, it does run in. Losing 6 Lurkers. Oh my god. Yeah, 6 Lurkers go down. Heavy losses for YoungYakov. A messy couple of moments here for the Zerg. It was a little bit back and forth. But Hasblat had a lot of units. Hasblat had a lot. 7 Scourge. That should be enough. There's only 1 Colossus left. Yeah, there's only 1 Colossus remaining. So plenty of Scourge. Now we can focus purely on Lurkers. Fleet Beacon is going to be on the way. Only range. Oh, there you go. Shout out to Fusion Dota 2 in the chat. Legacy Snow for only ranged. Again, it's not something that I've encountered personally before. But good to know. For future reference. As Zoun does wander through the center. Yakov setting up for an attempted surround. Okay, let's go. And they're going to be zoning away. I say surround, actually just going for the counterattack instead, catching out an immortal. Yeah, we'll catch them all at the same time. That's a kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. Does keep moving in. Lurkers, they borrow. And again, Yakov will see if he can catch out the main army. Do we have any? We have one queen. So one queen, limited in snares. At the same time, Zelarami on the top side and on the right hand side as well, running into an army. Zel's it up with. Hydras are kind of getting caught out. They do get a second immortal. Second immortal goes down. Ooh, very nice force field. Punching the Hydras. We're getting messy. Yeah, we're getting messy. Our storm is still on the way. Lurkers are moving in. Oh, and Snare does land on some of the Archons. But yeah, the Scourge, they cannot get close. This time the Archons, they do their job. Oh no! Oh my god. Very close. A little bit of miscontrol there as well. Yeah, it wasn't quite assertive, and with that, a couple of Scourge do go down. Colossus barely survives. I don't know if you noticed, but YoungYakov, it looks like the Scourge were the same control group as the Hydras. So as Hydras, as they kited away, so did the Scourge. So some messy micro there from YoungYakov. Did lose all the Scourge. But did kill the expansion, which matters more here. Denies the fourth base. Keeping Zoun in check. And again, Zani's trying to work towards that Skytoss army, but it's still a ways away. Still working on it. Hatchery is denied once again. Denies the expansion. Yakov moving out. Now, unfortunately, Yakov, his army is now a little bit less complex. There's no queen, there's no Scourge either. We have a couple of Defilers amassing behind this, and they can help, of course. They can Plague. They can Dark Swarm. I feel like Dark Swarm would be a little more ideal against this kind of army. Yakov just rotates towards the south side. Once again, just ensuring there's no expansion. Zelarami setting up. Setting up the run by. Oh, do we have the section? Oh my god, the Lurkers! Oh my god! The Lurkers, they pop up. The Observer was late. Jesus. So we just ran into the Lurkers, papi. Yeah, just ran in at the same time the main army does hit the third, and Zoun is being torn apart. He's being torn apart. It does go for the Dark Swarm. I mean, there's not really much here anyway. The base will fall. Zelarami is doing some damage here, but once again, Zoun cannot defend. And we spoke with this at the start of the game. Specifically, the third and fourth base on Blackrock are very difficult to defend. They're so open, they're so accessible. Zoun cleans up this army at least towards the south side. And these elves are wreaking havoc here. Oh my god, they killed an expansion. 17 drones going to be going down. Very nice Zelarami. We're getting messy. We're getting very, very messy here. As Yakov is not having the cleanest game either. He has plenty of hatcheries, but no saturation. And Zoun has got one Death Wolf army. He's got one army here to work with. 16 Scourge on the way. Oof. It's a lot of Scourge. Depending on the positioning of the Archons, the Scourge, they can just completely shut down any Skytoss unit. There are 3 Archons here on the right-hand side. There is 0 High Templar. Storm is done, but no Templar ready. Never goes off. Ooh, nice connection. Base goes down. Hatchery does fall. No, the Nova does not connect this time. Disruptor does fall. Scourge are amassing. The Scourge are getting ready. Oh, they're going to try to dive in. They will. Oh my god, they just delete the mothership. Oh, that's crazy. The mothership goes down. There's still the one Tempest. There's still the one carrier. But Zoun is running out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of army. Behind this, he does saturate his third. And now double expanding, getting a fourth. Likewise, he also cuts YoungYakov off from this southern expansion. True. Does cut him off. Yakov, he has the opposite issue here where he has a high drone count, but he has no saturation. Here comes the Maynard. And Maynarding over. rotates towards the left-hand side. Oh, never goes off and does connect. It is a connection, catching at what, 4 Hydras. Yakov pulls away, Storm of the Lurkers. There's not that many Lurkers here, but there's not much Protoss. Yeah, there's not much Protoss running out of Storms. One High Templar goes down, so stepping in, catching out the carrier. The Hydras, they stutter, said they catch another Disruptor. Disruptor goes down. Oh, the base does finish, so it's going to be killed, not cancelled. 20 probe kills as well. And this time, there is no Zealot run by. This time, no Zealot run by. YoungYakov, he has bottom right, and he has top left as well. 2 hatcheries up and running. Zoun has been struggling to maintain his own economy and his own army, and it's not going to happen. Not like this. As they move in, Cloak is activated. Do we have any Scourge remaining? No. So we're still waiting for extra Scourge. As we have 6 more Scourge on the way. And that is more than enough to take down the mothership. To take down the mothership, then it just comes down to the ground army. Again, there's not really much support here. We have some Storms, that is true, but there's not really much buffer for the High Templar. They're very vulnerable, very exposed. Oh, the splits! He splits, baby. Celeron on the right. Zoun, he now sees a creep. He's now aware of bottom right, and he will collapse in. Yakov responding. Yakov, he will react, he will respond. Ooh. Storms A zone away. There's a lot of Storms. Yeah, there's a lot of Storms available. Oh my god! Wings are running through the Storms. But some of the High Templar do get caught out. Down to 1 Templar left. Ooh. Yeah, the pilot gets thrown away. Scourge, they try to collapse in. They get shut down. But there's still plenty on the ground here. That was the final Storm. Hydras, they step forward. We also coming from behind the surround, baby. We're coming from behind. Catching at the Archon. Shields are triggered. These Hydras are going to be cleaned up. At the same time, Yakov coming in. Trying to at least... There we go. Scourge, they connect. And GG gets called. GG gets called. YoungYakov, he will tie things up 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Zoun, we mentioned earlier that he's one of the more inexperienced players here when it comes to StarCraft Evolution. Did open up Robo first into Disruptor Drop into Colossus, which was a bold move. As you saw here, trying to go Colossus and trying to go Sky Toss in ZVP is very different in StarCraft Evolution. Because of the existence of the Scourge, you do need a very robust supportive army first before delving into these high-tech units. Otherwise, they get shut down real fast and real quick. And by opening up Robo first, you already open the door for Scourge tech to become available. Then as you're transitioning into Sky Toss, I mean, again, the Scourge are already available there to shut that down. GG. GG, well played. Again, we did see some decent moments, of course, for Zoun. I would say the big moments were the Zealot run-bys. Zealot run-bys, Zealot counterattacks. We did see a lot of damage dealt, and a lot of chaos was ensuing, of course, but eventually YoungYakov did stabilize, and I could not say the same for Zoun. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're tied up 1-1, and now we'll see who takes the lead in this series, ONSYDE or StalnieBalls. Up next is going to be a ZVP. We're going to be jumping into Maru versus Shameless. Let's go. Let us go. Going to be loading into Fighting Spirit. Here we go. Just catching up. 10% a dream, papi. Yeah, the Caribbean, the Caribbean. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Fighting Spirit, we have the Brood War Terran player representing ONSYDE. Again, the pressure's on. We'll see if he can bounce back for himself or his team. It is Maru. Can he take a lead? As spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue host himself representing StalnieBalls. It is Shameless. here we go. We're getting into game number 3 here again. We're tied up 1-1, but bearing in mind this is a best of 5. Best of 5, so it is first to 3 to claim the series. So far we have that back and forth. And welcome to Fighting Spirit. Fighting Spirit is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom left, bottom right, top right, and top left as well. So 3 possible spawn locations. And from here, Shameless does go for the early scout. He's going to be checking top left. So scouting top left, looking for his opponent. Maru does open up with a CC first. Again, very common to go CC first, especially in regards to multi-spawn maps, as early rushes are very, very unorthodox or very rare. So it does open up CC first here. Shameless on the flip side. Once again, I would say, actually, when it comes to StalnieBalls, I know I've been talking a lot about how, like, ONSYDE are very inexperienced in StarCraft Evolution. That is true. Maru is going for a 3-rack stim. Maru and Ryung were both taught by Bjorn this build. So Bjorn is, like, one of the best Terran players in StarCraft Evolution. Did tell them they're like, yo, how do we play all these matchups? Like, do we need, like, one build for each match? He's like, no, 3 racks. 3-rack stim every game. So, okay. Cool. So they of course have been taking notes from Bjorn. But what I was going to get at is that Shameless, kind of like the ONSYDE boys, is also an experience. When it comes to StalnieBalls, when it comes to their time in StarCraft Evolution, I think of YoungYakov, I think of GgMaChine, I think of Zoun, I think of MilkiCow as well. Like a lot of the StalnieBalls players, like they're very well versed in StarCraft Evolution. They play on a regular basis. I will say that's for most players, but not so much for Shameless. Shameless, he didn't really adopt, or he didn't really StarCraft Evolution didn't really enamor Shameless the same way that it did GgMaChine and YoungYakov, for example. So I would say he's one of the more inexperienced players here, which it makes sense why he was fielded as an SC2 player, right? He's playing SC2 Protoss, not Brutal Protoss, so it does make sense. Same thing with Zoun. True. Remember, Zoun, he was also fielded as an SC2 Protoss just because of their inexperience as well. So we'll see how they compare. We'll see how they keep up. For now, we're building up our bio. Academy is now done. Stim is on the way. Just like in Ryung's game earlier in the series, Maru is going for his own Stim timing as well. So I should fix up the title. Beautiful. We are going to be opening up. From here, we do have our initial gates setting up as well. Blink is going to be on the way, so standard blink based opener here out of Shameless. We'll see if it goes 2-gate blink, 3-gate blink, or 4-gate blink stalker. Upon confirming the bio setup here, we should be having a stronger response. And it is 3 gates. So safe play here from Shameless. Recalls the stalkers back home. And we'll see if we can minimize losses. We'll see if he can. And Maru, he's looking. He's looking for his opponent. Does scan ahead of time. Unlike Ryung, Maru, he won't blindly show up at the wrong base. So he scans, confirms. Now moves in. Shameless, he won't be able to engage with the army until it's already at this front door. There are 2 batteries ready, a force field as well. Maru, he sees the setup, backs off. Waiting for reinforcements. Behind this double factory is a follow-up this time, so it's a different reaction out of Maru. Remember, Ryung, he went for a factory into tank production into a starport follow-up into fast science vessels. Maru is going double factory instead, so a heavier factory setup. Different response. Ooh, 1 medic does get focused. There's the first stim. Yeah, base out the stim. 1 stalker does get picked off. Catching out a stalker. Shameless chasing down, and Shameless holds. And Shameless does hold. Ooh, even catching us some of the rally as well. And Maru checking for the 3rd. Ooh, that was Jesus. Yeah, Shameless, he blinked forward actually. He blinked in, gets punished for it. And Maru, he will scout the 3rd base. Now, I don't know if you noticed something, but this is the thing that's most crazy to me about Fighting Spirit is this 3rd base is so far away from the natural. Like, it's insanely far away. It's very isolated and it's very difficult to defend. Trying to maintain your third and trying to maintain your fourth base on this map can be very difficult. It's similar to Blackrock in that sense, but also different. So Blackrock has very open and exposed third and fourth bases, and that makes them difficult to defend. Here, I would say the third and fourth base, remember, they're on the high ground. These are high ground bases, so, and they also have choke points and relatively smaller smaller ramps as well. So they're relatively defendable, but they're much more spread out. So if you're in position, you can hold on to them, but that's only if you're in position, if you're able to keep up with army rotations and keep up with army movements. Meanwhile, we did allude to this build in the Ryung series. Ryung didn't do it, but it is going to be 3x stim into mech. We're meching it up from here. As you can see, double armory. The academy. So double armory is going to be on the way for double mech upgrades. We're making that switch. Still making some marines and medics here initially, but we should eventually phase this out as we're going into spider mines and hyperflight rotors. Sorry, not hyper, and ion thrusters. That's it. Ion thrusters and spider mines, vulture speed, and of course vulture mines. And I believe, is this some optic flare? I haven't seen anyone research optic flare since they changed the art. Shout out to the SE team, by the way. They did create a bunch of custom art for all these upgrades. And this is a new one. Yep, optic flare. Okay. So for those who don't know what optic flare is, think of like, if you know Dragon Ball, think of like solar flare, but for the medics. Think of they come in, they flashbang an opponent. The way that it works is they can target a unit, so they can flashbang it, and I believe it is a permanent debuff on the unit where the vision is reduced to 1. I think it's 1 or 0. I think it's 1. So basically, you just permanently blind a unit. It's crazy. And it's really good for like Colossus. You can optic flare Colossus. That can be really good. Tempest as well, of course, to reduce its vision. Bearing in mind that you can still rely on other units' vision to provide yourself vision to be able to attack with that unit, but on its own, like, its vision gets very, very heavily impaired. And it does have its place against Protoss. As I mentioned, it does have its place against Colossus, against Tempest, against some key high value targets. But it's usually against observers. True, observers as well. As Maru does fan out on the right hand side. Gonna be harassing, and there's nothing in position. Ooh, yeah, Pro's gonna be going down. Shameless out of position, does go for the reactive warp, but despite that, Pro's still gonna be falling. At the same time, does push in towards the third base, and he's pushing into a minefield, but does have the observer in position. He does see everything. He does see the army. Despite that, this is a very heavily fortified position. We have tanks. And we have SimCity. Ooh, at the same time, Maru, he's distracted. Ooh, yeah, Maru, he was distracted. All 3 tanks go down. Ay, he was not paying attention. Yeah, Maru was pulled away. This position is breaking. Shout to that Zealot Rumba here, distracting Maru. And Shameless is breaking in. Yeah, Shameless is pushing in. The Archons, they barely don't quite get on top of the bio. They're still so close. Oh my god. Yeah, Volley's going to be going up, down to 1 Archon, and Shameless is running out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of reinforcements. Despite that, 14 SCV kills. Crazy damage. Yeah, it cripples the economy. More Zealots are going to be rallying in. Observer pushing forward. Oof. We did see the optic. There it is. We did see the optic flare here. On, we have a backup observer though. No, never mind. Hey, there we go. Does catch both observers. I mean, despite that, the observer does still try to move in. There we go. Gets caught out. You can actually see as I switch to the vision, you can see the observer sees nothing back. I believe it has to be on top of the mine to detect the mine. Meanwhile, we have our Skytoss transition. Okay. Shameless is taking map control, right? You can see here, 3rd base, 4th base, 5th base on the way. Shameless is crippling the economy and his mass expanding. Shameless, he's just out scaling Maru. Right now, the soup is lying too. The supply is quite close, but that's only until this economy kicks in. So given time, Shameless will be able to max out. At the same time, he rotates over, running into a brick wall. Blinks in, gets the tank. Yeah, tank goes down, but the wall is still solid. That's a hefty wall back. Ooh. Soldiers are thrown away. Now, is there a world where Maru can break out and counterattack before Skytoss hits the field? Well, he's going for it. There you go. Vultures, they do break out. They got a job to do. They got a lot of work to do here. They break out across the map. They get spotted by the Prism. Ooh, Prism does spot this. Shameless back at home. He's racing back. There's a recall. He recalls to his third. Maru, he does hit the fourth. Pro's going to be going down, and there is a reactive warp in here, but only 2 Stalkers. A lot of workers are going to fall. Heavy losses here for Shameless. Very nice run by. Nice damage. Maru setting up his mines. He will lose all these Vultures, but did a lot of damage. Very nice. This was worth it. This was worth it. Getting up to 16 probe kills. 16 probes, crippling the economy. Back at home, we do have Maru. He is trying to still build up his mech army. It's still a ways away. Going into Goliaths, going into science vessels. Goliath upgrade's going to be on the way as well. Oh. Oh. Oof. Spider-Man connects. Cleans up part of the minefield. Now, when it comes to Skytoss, Shameless, he's actually not switching into Skytoss. We have a mothership on the way. There is a Stargate, but only one Stargate. Like, there's no big Skytoss transition. Nothing like that. Shameless going for the double jump, running into a wall of turrets. And will not make it through. He's ready this time. There's more of an opening here, potentially. See if we can pull our weave through the bases. As Maru now is working on a 4th expansion. Uh-oh, this is a big power spike for Maru, getting his 4th base up and running. Shameless is about to max out. And we'll see how the armies engage. As Maru is moving in. He's pushing through this choke point. Get a very thin alleyway to move in. There's no flanking potential either. True. Cannot be flanked. Shameless, does he backstab instead? What's the plan? What are we going to do? This base is going to go down, and Shameless, do we try to protect the base or go for the counter-attack? We recall. Oh, where we... What? Oh my god, okay, never mind. Recalls on the army, shout to the mothership. Ay, and with that, Shameless will completely shut this down. I was thinking, like, do we go head on? Do we flank? Do we counterattack? There was another option, Pappy. It was recall. Recall on top of the mecha army, and with that, Maru will lose everything. Maru, he plummets in supply, so it's 3 tanks on the high ground. Very nice move here from Shameless. The recall, Pappy. Pushing up this ramp is still going to be difficult, but we can just avoid it. Yeah, we can just rotate around. Shameless can just rotate around instead. Maru trying to reposition, trying to keep up. Shameless moving in. He's moving in, catching out a tank. Gets 1, gets 2. Yeah, 1, 2 tanks falling. Immortals, they can tank those shots. Catching out 3, 4, 5 tanks going down. Heavy losses here for Maru. And this 4th base that we were raising, now it's under fire. And now it's Maru pushing up a room instead. Oh my god. Mothership does go down. Yo, we got the lockdowns though. Yeah, lockdowns to those immortals. Ghosts are coming in. You can see them missing. As they try to focus on those immortals, and then when you get into the middle line, tendency is going to be going down. Once again, nice lockdowns here on the immortals. You can see the duration as well. Lockdown lasts a long time. They're locked down, Pappy. Oof. Again, think of lockdown like a difference matrix, except even better. As units cannot even move. They cannot even move. Zoun reinforcements are coming from behind, collapsing on ghosts and tanks. Much more efficient trade here for Shameless. Oh my god, the immortal survives. The immortal's immortal. Very nice trades here. Cleans up every single ghost. Heavy losses for Maru. That was how many? That was 6 ghosts going down. All the tanks, of course. 19 SCVs. And Shameless has almost every other expansion. Oh boy. There's still the center base. True. Center expansion is still yet to be taken. Same with that center left as well. So 2 bases still yet to be taken. Here we go. Shameless is moving in. It does look to move in. Still just, I mean, there's no reason, there's no pressure on Shameless. He can just chill. He can just chill, max out. At the same time, Maru does break out with some of these vultures. Pushing into the mineral lines. He does move in. Pro's going to be going down. At the same time, we have some vulture harassing on the right-hand side. Shameless trying to be active here. That is going to be 12 probe kills, though. That's a lot of workers going down. Yeah, bleeding out a lot of workers. Observer does clear out the minefield. Yeah, clears out the field. 20 probe kills as vultures. They also get into bottom right. They're still not done. This is getting out of hand. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. 24 probe kills. That's crazy. 26 probes going to be going down. Heavy losses there for Shameless, but he's maxed out. And now you could argue he's becoming super maxed. I mean, he still has 80 probes. Soon to be 86. So still 86 workers. Shameless maxed out. We got to make use of this army. Do we have extra Stargates yet? No. I would, at this one, I would want to see like a second, third Stargate. Especially now that Shameless is maxed. Are you pushing to the center? And Maru's still trying to set up. It's very open here in between the third and fourth base. And actually, now we do see Shameless abusing how spread out Maru is. He does abuse that. Oh my god, heavy tank shots on the Stalkers. Zealots, they do get into the mineral line. A better run by here from Shameless. At the same time, Vultures are getting in once again, but this time it should be a one-way trip. Oh, lack of control. Yeah, we do get the recall. Recalls into the expansion. The fourth base once again going to be going down. And Shameless will kill 30 SCVs. Oh my god. And crazy damage once again. Another recall. Vultures that were cleaned up. Base goes down. Maru will lose the mineral line here on the top left as well. In the center left. Does EMP. Yeah, it does end the EMP here, but again, these are some rough losses here for Maru. Shameless, he also plummets in supply, but he trades army. He still maintains the economy. Still 78 probes. Still 78 workers. Maru, he's pushing in. That's a lot of tanks. It's a lot of tanks back. EMPs, they do connect. And nice EMPs. So as they blink in, they punish the science vessels. Catching out two. Maru pushing bottom right. Now, what's scary about what's happening bottom right is that if Maru maintains, if he takes over these bases, he can take them himself. Right? That's what's important. They can soon become Maru's bases. Locks down the army. Nice pickups out of Maru. Oh, and Shameless. I was curious. Where's the saturation? Shameless just lost 21 probes in a base. He's heavily oversaturated here on the top side. No saturation center left. Now rallying over. Maru's moving in. And this is important. Maru, he ignores bottom right. He ignores bottom right. Keeps on going. And Shameless, he's broke. The non-stop harass of Maru's been working. Shameless, he has no money. Yeah, no money left. Oh my god, running through a minefield. Losing too much. And Maru's done it. He's done it. GG gets called. Nothing left for Shameless. He is broke. He's out of money. And Maru takes the lead for ONSYDE. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Does take a lead here. Again, a very intense back and forth. Shameless, he had a very hard time against the Vulture run-bys. We saw so many Vulture counterattacks out of Maru, getting so many probes throughout the entire game. I want to say over 60 workers went down just from Vulture counterattacks, even more than that even. And again, Shameless, even though he was taking, I would say, better fights, he was taking better fights, better engagements, really nice recalls as well. He didn't really have the bank to sustain it because he kept bleeding out his economy. He had bleeding out workers. His economy was not ideal. He was very spread thin. He had limited reinforcements or limited site defense back at home as well. I want to say there was like one cannon per base, but that was nowhere near enough. And with that, GG well played. With that, Shameless was torn apart, and Maru does put a point on the board for ONSYDE. GG. I think for the first time as well. I think that Maru, he struggled last week, if I recall correctly, so big win here for Maru. And we'll see if Ryung can close it out. Oh boy. As we're getting ready for game number 4 here. Ooh, it's gonna be an interesting one, because up next we have potentially the final game of the series. We're on match point. We are on match point. We're gonna be getting into our TBT. Maru, sorry, getting into our TBT. My apologies, sorry, I thought it was gonna be Ryung. My apologies, it's gonna be Maru once again. Okay, Maru, he's gonna be fielded for a second time. Oh, and I'm getting some flashbacks here. So Maru, he did struggle previously, in reference to, wait, am I thinking of the right TBT? Last week there was a TBT, there was, no, sorry, I'm thinking of Björn. Sorry, the other one. The other Korean Terran. I was thinking of Björn against Zodiant. The TBT where Zodiant sniped Björn in the ace match against Shopify. True, that's what I was thinking of. So we'll see if Maru can we'll see how he handles himself in TBT. There is an advantage of this being week 2. Week 1 we saw a lot of TBTs, and we saw the rise and prevalence of what? Mass Wraith. Mass Wraith in TBT was crazy. We'll get into it, but it's a way to secure map control, to secure air control specifically, but also to bully the ground army and to make use of speed, which is very abnormal when it comes to mech compositions. We'll get into it. As we are loading into washouts. As we are loading into game number 4. But yeah, the TBTs were crazy last week. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Washout, we have the SC2 Terran player. True, the SC2 Terran himself representing ONSYDE. It is Maru. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brood War Terran. The Brood War Terran player representing StalnieBalls. It is MilkiCow. Let's go. Let us go. We are jumping into our game. We're jumping into match point. Again, Maru needs to win one game here to claim the series for ONSYDE. MilkiCow has to win here and now to force the ace match. And welcome to Washouts. Welcome to Washouts. Now, once again, coming into our game here, coming into some of the TBT meta. In SE2 TBT, it is very common to go double Stargate, to go for a 2-port Viking, for example. Like 2-port 2-base all-ins have been very trendy, especially in the current meta. But going into Mass Viking, going into air control is very common in TBT. Going into double Starport Mass Wraith is a way to gain air control, is to fight back against the Vikings, but also to actually have some pretty threatening anti-ground attack. And more importantly, because of Cloak, you have so much more micro potential. The Wraith is so fast. It's so much faster than the Vikings. So Wraiths, we saw them utilized in such a way where you build up a massive pack of Wraiths. You can micro in, micro out, you can catch your opponent being inattentive, cloak, snipe some key Vikings, gain air control, then dominate the ground as well. It was some crazy TBTs last week. We'll see if we get there here as well. We did notice a lot of the SE2 Terran players struggle against Mass Wraith. And we're struggling. For now, it is going to be a racks in the factory into CC on the low ground. MilkiCow going to be able to set up a all early on. This is a little bit risky here, getting your racks in your factory production buildings as a part of the wall in the low ground at the natural. This does mean that if this area were to ever be contested by tank lines and by siege positions, then the production is going to be much more exposed than normally. Normally your production is safer in the main, here much more exposed. So there's a give and take here. The plus side is you're able to get a wall off very early on. True, but again, your production is more vulnerable. So we have that give and take. Meanwhile, big shout out to Luis GGG. God, Papi God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome to the Crank Gathers. Crank Gathers Season 4. Welcome to the group stage. We are covering ONSYDE versus StalnieBalls, and we are currently mid-series. Maru is on match points. ONSYDE is on match point, and Maru, he is here to try to claim the series. But again, we'll see. I mean, MilkiCow, he is a lot more well versed in this matchup in StarCraft Evolution, and we'll see if he can bring Maru down. For now, there it is, Wraiths. We spoke about this earlier, but again, we've seen some Wraith heavy play in TVT, and we're getting there once again. Now, typically we do see like a second starport to go into a control tower to get into cloak, to go into double starport, double wraith production. There it is. Second starport, so this is very meta. This is very, very meta here, going double starport, going mass wraith. Meanwhile, we do see Maru going for his own 1-1-1. Now, how do you counter this sort of style? Well, you have to be very attentive, you have to be very fast, you have to be able to react very quickly, of course. Trying to fight for air control with purely Viking can be difficult. Having ground supportive units, and also, of course, having Ravens alongside your Vikings is crucial as well, to make sure that you have detection. Just because, again, cloak can be abused quite hard. Oh. As the first Wraith rallies in, oh my god. It takes some hits already. The MilkiCow not paying attention. No, does not pay attention here. The first Wraith does go down, distracted back at home. We did have a Reaper. Yeah, Reaper got into the mineral line. MilkiCow, he was not paying attention. And that is a rough start. Checking the vision here, Maru, he did scout the second starport. Maru knows. Yeah, Maru, he knows, he's aware. Likewise, no control tower. No cloak. MilkiCow rallying already across the map, moving out with his first two tanks. Risky. Very risky here. But he is moving out. He's reinforcing. Siege mode is not yet researched. MilkiCow moving in. Maru setting up in the main. He's setting up in the main base. Tanks stay within range of the reactor. Oh, massive shots! Yeah, massive tank shots here. He baits the Cyclone in. And MilkiCow, he baits in Maru. Takes down the reactor. Within range of the Rex. Getting within range of the factory. He's gonna get a hand. You can see a mischance here. You can see the miss icon float over the unit name whenever it doesn't quite land a shot. Again, as we're attacking up into high ground. So bear that in mind. That may factor in when Maru tries to break out. Ooh, very nice scan, catching out one of the Wraiths. And now we can get in. Ooh, the unsiege. Very unfortunate here. Does unsiege at the wrong moment. Army collapsing in. The lock-ons here are brutal, catching out one, and catching out one of the tanks. The other gets disabled. But Maru, he barely doesn't have enough. Barely not. He's holding on to one more disable there. Oof. He's holding on to one more. Here's trying to bait out a tank shot. Vikings, they move in. They bully the Wraiths. Third tank pushing forward. Ooh, within range of the tank though. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from MilkiCow. And behind this, getting his third. His third CC's on location. Border shots get thrown down. Gets one, gets two tanks. Very nice. Yeah, 2-3 tanks go down. Heavy losses for MilkiCow, and Maru breaks out. Maru, he breaks out. He takes down the Wraith. He takes out all 3 tanks as well, getting a 4th even. And this third base is in trouble. The third C is going to be in trouble here. Back at home, we got 1 tank to defend. We got 1 Wraith as well. Maru's coming. He's got a couple of boys here to repair. And MilkiCow is going to try to hold on to his natural. I'm curious to see if Maru does push towards the third or the natural. Like, what do we go for? How much do we want? Tank volley in the Cyclone. And we're selling for the third. Okay, so Maru's playing safe. He's playing it safe. Ooh. Catching out one of the Wraiths. As I mentioned before, there is no cloak. Dives in. Gets one Viking. Gets a Viking. Ooh, Wraith falls. Sorry, I'm going to say Raven. Yeah, Raven does get sniped. Down to 1. Down to 1 Raven again. Maru has to be careful here with that Raven. There are 7 Wraiths in total. They do get outranged by the Viking, true. So Vikings, they shoot first. I mean, this is typically why you need Cloak. Cloak is a really good way to close that distance and to get onto the Vikings. I mean, it's I guess not really applicable here because it's a Raven. True. As Maru, he's slowly gaining more ground, maintaining air control. Behind this, going for a second starport into Mass Viking, rebuilding his Raven, and he's just chasing. Oh my god! Will close that cap though. Nice armor shred. Armor shred goes off. Still quite close. The Vikings, they will overwhelm. Yeah, they overwhelm. The mass repair is not going to be good enough here, and every wraith goes down. Massive pickups here, and Maru, he's done it. He breaks the main army, cleans up all the wraiths, and the tanks are pushing forward. GG gets called, and Maru, he will claim the series 3-1, winning it all for ONSYDE. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very aggressive variation here from MilkiCow, moving across the map so quickly with the first two wraiths, with the first tank as well. If you remember, did lose that first wraith initially by overextending, so a little bit shaky when it came to the execution, but hyper aggression there from MilkiCow. Unfortunately, as you saw, once Maru was able to break out, once he was able to catch out, I mean, there were a couple of key moments with lock-on specifically, with Maru, he caught a couple of wraiths, he caught a couple of tanks as well, which should not have been happening. Eventually was able to break out, and once that occurred, there was nothing left. It was like very almost all in there for MilkiCow because he kept rallying everything across the map. Once he lost that army, there was nothing left to defend. GG. GG, well played. But again, a much more aggressive variation, a much more aggressive build here from MilkiCow than we're used to seeing from Brood War Terran players. Definitely has a little potential, was applying a lot of pressure, but Maru, grace under pressure. Grace under pressure. Kept a cool, calm, and collected head and shut him down. GG. GG, well played. With that, we can catch up on the series overall here. As you can see, we had ONSYDE on the left, we had StalnieBalls on the right. It was a bit of a back and forth here. Ryung did kick things off with a win against GgMaChine. If you recall, I want to say that GgMaChine had a really it was a shaky game there. If you remember, he decided to delay his lair, delay bailing speed. He got punished for it, and Ryung snowballed out of control. It was a crazy dynamic. We had Zoun versus YoungYakov. YoungYakov looking very comfortable against Zoun, and Maru able to get 2 wins in a row versus Shameless and MilkiCow. Honestly though, I can see Shameless winning against Maru. Like, that was a much more dynamic and closer game. Went all the way to the late game, of course, with maxed out armies. Shameless just had a really hard time defending against the Vulture Harass. The Vulture Harass was just getting out of hand and getting out of control. It was punishing Shameless despite having better fights. Like, I was again very impressed by Shameless's engagements, but it was the defense that was lacking for Shameless. For sure. GG. GG, well played. And with that, ONSYDE, they will claim the series 3-1, taking down StalnieBalls. Meanwhile, a big shout out to C Grail in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 41 months more StarCraft. We got you, Pappy. We got you. Always, always. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. We do appreciate it. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have a next series. Remember, we have 3 best of 5s ready for you tonight. First one is in the books. We'll be back soon with our next series. It's going to be StalnieBalls up against not ONSYDE. StalnieBalls up against, if we lose, it's Crank's fault. And we're here to find out, is it Crank's fault this week? Is it his fault? Always. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break.